Is Israel preparing for a war with Hezbollah? With Israel's defense minister announcing a new phase of the war and an apparent Israeli attack setting off explosions in electronic devices in Lebanon, the specter of war between Israel and Hezbollah seems closer than ever before. Hopes for a diplomatic solution to the conflict appear to be fading quickly as Israel signals a desire to change the status quo in the country's north, where it has exchanged cross-border fire with Hezbollah since the Lebanese militant group began attacking on October 8th, a day after the war's opening salvo by Hamas. In the recent days, Israel has moved a powerful fighting force up to the northern border. Officials have escalated their rhetoric, and the country's security cabinet has designated the return of tens of thousands of displaced residents to their homes in the northern Israel as official war goal. Here's a look at how Israel is preparing for a war with Lebanon. Firstly, troops are being drawn from Gaza to the northern border. While the daily fighting between Israel and Hezbollah has escalated on several occasions, the bitter enemies have been careful to avoid an all-out war. That appears to be changing, especially after pagers, walkie-talkies and other devices exploded in Lebanon on Tuesday and Wednesday, killing at least 20 and wounding thousands in a sophisticated attack Hezbollah has blamed on Israel. Now, experts believe you don't do something like that, hit thousands of people and think war is not coming. As fighting in Gaza has slowed, Israel has fortified forces along the border with Lebanon, including the arrival this week of a powerful army division that took part in some of the heaviest fighting in Gaza. This is the 98th Division, which is believed to include thousands of troops, including paratrooper, infantry units and artillery and elite commando forces specially trained for operations behind enemy lines. The division played a key role in Gaza, spearheading the army's operations in the southern city of Khan Yunis, a Hamas stronghold. The offensive inflicted heavy losses on Hamas fighters and tunnels, but also wreaked massive damage, sent thousands of Palestinians fleeing, and resulted in scores of civilian deaths. Israel says Hamas endangers civilians by hiding in residential areas. The military also said it staged a series of drills this week along the border. Next telling sign is the announcement of a new phase of war. The military movements have been accompanied by heightened rhetoric from Israel's leaders who say their patience is running thin. Now, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant on Wednesday declared the start of a new phase of war as Israel turns its focus towards Hezbollah. He said the center of gravity is shifting to the north by diverting resources and forces. He spoke a day after Israel's cabinet made the return of displaced residents to their homes in northern Israel a formal goal of the war. The move was largely symbolic, but elevating the significance of the aim signaled a tough stance. After meeting with top security officials, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared, "We will return the residents of North securely to their homes." Netanyahu delivered a similarly tough message with a top US envoy sent to the region this week to soothe all tensions. So, is war inevitable? Israeli media reported on Wednesday that the government has not yet decided whether to launch a major offensive in Lebanon or not. Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrallah threatened Israel during a televised speech. He said thousands of pagers were targeted by the Israeli enemy and detonated simultaneously. With this operation, the enemy crossed all rule, laws and red line. It didn't care about anything at all, not morally, not humanely, not legally. He said, "You have laughed on our deaths, now you will cry on your deaths." What has happened over the last few days obviously requires us to take a stand. What prompted me to speak today are the events that have unfolded over the past 2 days, and this requires words, an assessment and a stance. Lebanese front is open and it was pressuring the enemy. It is one of the most important front, the north. It is pressuring the enemy and it is also most important negotiation card that Palestinians have. But public sentiments in Israel seem to be supportive of tougher action against Hezbollah. So this is going to be a problem. A poll in late August by the Israeli Democracy Institute A think tank found that 67% of Jewish respondents thought Israel should intensify its response to Hezbollah. That includes 46% of Jewish respondents who believed Israel should launch a deep offensive striking Lebanese infrastructure, and 21% who seek an intensified response that avoids striking Hezbollah infrastructure. Such a war would almost certainly prove devastating for both sides. Already, more than 500 people have been killed in Lebanon by Israeli strikes since October 8th. Most of them fighters with Hezbollah and other armed groups, but also more than 100 civilians. In northern Israel, at least 23 soldiers and 26 civilians have been killed by strikes. Israel inflicted heavy damage on Lebanon during the month-long war against Hezbollah in 2006 that ended in a stalemate. Israeli leaders have threatened even tougher action this time around, vowing to repeat the scenes of destruction from Gaza in Lebanon. But Hezbollah also has built up its capabilities since 2006. Hezbollah has an estimated 150,000 rockets and missiles, some believed to have guidance systems that could threaten sensitive targets in Israel. It has also developed an increasingly sophisticated fleet of drones, capable of striking all parts of Israel. Hezbollah could bring life in Israel to a standstill. Do tell us what you think about this video in the comment section, and for more news updates, subscribe to India Today.